pressure as the first 100 days of Trump's presidency come to a close. Joining us with more from D.C. Representative Tom Reed, member of the House Ways and Means Committee and co-chair of the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus. Good morning to you, Congressman.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on. Let's
go to the potential shutdown first, and I'm hoping you can tell us it will be averted.
I believe it will. We're working hard here to the finish line, and I'm confident we'll have to do a one-week extension, but the agreement's coming together, and we're going to keep this government up and running as we deal with the issues.
Are we going to have this conversation again next Friday?
We're probably going to have another conversation, but at the end of the day, I think we get through it. We get through it this year. We can move on to health care and also tax reform.
And is there any chance that someone tries to throw in some monkey business between now and next Friday, given that we're going to push it off and who knows what happens in 7 days?
Well, of course, it's Washington, D.C., but that's why I'm working in a bipartisan way with the Problem Solvers Caucus to give other alternatives. We got some Democrats coming across that are taking leadership roles to avoid a government shutdown, and that's the fundamental position we're trying to get to.
Realistically, you've probably done the count. Where do you think the repeal and replace of healthcare ACA stands right now inside the House?
Well, I know we've been working the last few days late into the night, and we're getting very close. It's going in the right direction. I think we're going to be able to move this bill sometime next week is my goal, and I think we get there, and then we're going to have to deal with the Senate. That's a whole other process.
You got to do the tax reform question. You got to do it the same way.
Oh, it's
no, I want Andrew's got to ask you. Okay, I'll ask
what do you want me to say?
Congressman, you couldn't, if you are intellectually honest, you couldn't possibly be supporting this tax proposal. Because if
as currently constructed,
as it's currently constructed, you must be against it, because any intellectually honest person would, by definition, be against this travesty.
Well, what I'm fundamentally against is the existing broken tax code for the American people and the competitive disadvantage it puts us on the world stage. So we got to move forward, and we're leading in the House, and we're engaging now in the White House, and we're going to push the Senate Act too.
Get him.
Hold on, Congressman. Just when you looked at that plan, which was a plan as a page, it was one piece of paper, it was a page. Did you look at that as a plan? You looked at it as something else? I mean, if you wouldn't approve the plan as that one page stands today, would you?
Of course. I mean, being on the committee, working on these issues for 7 years, the details matter. But putting the paper out helps a great deal because it gives us some guidance. And if you look at that proposal from the White House, a lot of what we're working on in the House on the individual side, we're going to do the whole tax reform for everybody in America because that's the right thing to do.
Does it have to pay for itself?
You know, with growth and dynamic scoring, I think you can get there. But at the end of the day, I'm concerned about the deficit.
Have you seen any math that suggests that you can get there? With the numbers that have been currently put out there?
Well, obviously getting to a 15% rate is very difficult in a revenue-neutral way. But that doesn't mean you don't give up trying. It doesn't mean you keep on engaging in the debate. And that's why I appreciate the White House putting this out.
Congressman, my answer on the break was, don't even score it. Just do it. That's what I told him. You didn't like that answer.
Well,
right?
only because everybody was living
growth.
For the past couple of years, we would have these fix the debt campaigns. You remember those?
Yeah, but we spent $10 trillion.
Rise the above pins on.
We spent $10 trillion.
And now everyone is saying, oh, deficits don't matter. I don't know. I don't know.
Let's hope that common sense and not the bean counters out of Washington, D.C. dictate some of these fundamental policy decisions.
Bean counters, see? You know, we need bean counters, I guess.
We do.
Shouldn't be too nasty.
But you do want to know, ultimately, that you'd be able to create enough growth that it would pay for it, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's the goal. That's the goal. Growth is the cornerstone of solutions to the problems of America.
I'm telling you, it will. Just relax. It will.
It will. It will. But by the way, if you ever looked at tax revenue, even in the Reagan years, tax revenue as a function of the tax rates did not do unfortunately, what it was supposed to do, right?
Well, and that's exactly where we are today. We have the highest revenue coming into the U.S. government. It's a spending equation, too, when we talk about the deficit and the debt.
So if we're going to, the deficit, every year we raise the debt ceiling because it's just almost like night follows day. My only point is, we can blow it on one, one party wants to blow it on one thing. The other party wants to give it a shot to stimulate some growth, grow the pie, and hopefully there'll be more to split up at that point.
I'm not saying you can't lower the rates. I think the idea of lowering the rates is terrific. The question is, how far down can you lower the rates and still have
problem,
if
Andrew,
they're not going to cut. Hold on. I've talked about means testing, Social Security. I think you got to touch entitlements.
Right.
All
That's what we got to do. Well, that's the only way.
But nobody wants to even have that conversation. So how is this all supposed to happen?
Because we're going to initially you do this, in his first term.
Right.
Trump, you do this. The second term, you work on the deficit reduction. You get growth going in the first term. People at home, that are horrified by the whole presidency are like, talking about a second term is just anathema. But anyway, Congressman, Washington's fun. It's fun to watch, and I don't know. I don't envy you.
I'll add this. The president's earning political capital right now by bringing members down to the White House, and as a business person, I can really appreciate that, and I think many of your viewers can.
It's a whole new concept, given what's been happening down there.
Amen.
Actually talking to Congress. Anyway.
You go to lunch with Schumer ever?
I work with our senator quite a bit because we're New Yorkers at our heart.
Okay. Just wanted to...
All right, Congressman, thank you very much.
Thanks.
When we return, GM